Yes, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, welcome all. It is here at this welcoming ceremony of the President of Russia, President Vladimir Putin. As you know, family, brothers and sisters, China is hosting historic meeting or summit of Shanghai Cooperation Organization, SCO summit that will be held in Tianjin Guest House. Of course, this was initiated almost by China, Russia, Kazakhstan, initiated by China and Russia. Of course, I'm sorry for that. Uh, yeah, this was initiated by China and Russia, of course, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, and Tajikistan now includes new key members such as India, Iran, Pakistan, and Belarus. You can see how these southern or these Asian countries are now coming together, and that's why I'm sharing this for you Africans to see that there's a need for we Africans to come together. No one is asking President maybe Putin that you are not democratic. You are maybe, of course, we have seen in African countries, we have these things that we call unconstitutional changes, but no one can ask the President Putin the issue of unconstitutional changes. What the world is looking, what are you offering? I'm sharing this because in the near future we're going to have Africa CARICOM summit. We're going to have African Union and Maldivian summit, where we, we feel that all leaders are supposed to be included, but we know some leaders such as Traore will not be there. Why? Because of what the African Union is claiming that was unconstitutional changes of government in the council. But here you see, no one is asking China the democracy. No one is asking Russia on the issue of democracy. And we Africans also we need to focus on what is important for us instead of um, separating each other because of Western ideas, ideology. We have to see how we can come together. And that's why I'm sharing this video. So this is how President Putin was alive in China. No one is asking him about democracy. No one is talking about unconstitutional changes. But if in Africa you find that we are busy talking about unconstitutional changes, leaders such as Traore not being invited in African Union Summit because of these things that we call unconstitutional changes. We need to refuse as Africans. That's why I'm sharing this video. That if you have power and offer something, no one can ask you to do small things. Everyone will see you as intervention. So families, brothers and sisters, this is justice. How Putin alive in China. Because you see that's how the Asian countries are respecting Putin. And of course, they are not interested with what we call democracy. And these are people who are sometimes offering resources to us. No one asking China that China, you are not democratic. You China, maybe you are not conducting elections, but we Africans, we are being told do this, do that, conduct elections. So I think the time has come for Africans to understand and to decide as Africans where we want to go and which way we are going to take. So these things have been becoming obstacles sometimes to cooperate. African nations are not cooperating. It is very easy to see African nations um, having summit with the rest of the world. Recently, we heard the story of we have what we call what do you mean? tell you something. Oh, we had TICAD, Africa, Japan, Africa and Japan, of course, summits. We had also recently, at the same week, we had Africa Indonesia Business Summit. So we have these summits, a lot of summits. But when will Africans having our own summits? We want to hear one day that we have Africa, maybe mineral summit. Yes, we have Indaba, some can say that. Um, I wish to have such kind of summits. Um, Africa, maybe diaspora summit that will be held here in the continent. Not these summits that we have that we sometimes took our representatives or sometimes our leaders being summoned in somewhere in Europe, whether in America or somewhere in Asia. We want Africans to have the same summit. To see these white people, they love each other. And that's what I see from white people. White people love each other so much, but we black people, we hate each other so much. So if it is maybe conducted, sometimes people are telling us lies. No, there's no security in Africa. Africa is a continent of disease. Africa is that and that. All is to make Africans feel inferior and think that you can do something, you cannot do something. That's why we have been told those kind of things. And it's very easy for Africans to be summoned uh, in, 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 in Beijing, in Russia, Sochi, or in somewhere else. Why? Because in the continent, it seems like uh, there's no security, there's no peace. And that's why we prefer to go in other places because we don't believe and we don't trust each other. Africans, let me tell you this thing. If you are, maybe you're investing in Africa, people may call you entrepreneur. If European or white people are coming to invest in Africa, they have been called investors. We Africans are entrepreneurs. White people are investors. Africans in outside of the continent, people in Europe, whether you be called immigrants, whether you be called, uh, they will try to find another name. Uh, but if Europeans or white people in Africa are called tourists, we Africans, we cannot be tourists in Europe. We are immigrants. But if you find white people in Africa, these are tourists. If you find um, uh, small miners in Africa, these what we call illegal miners. So the Africans, to mine their own resources, we call them illegal miners. But when Chinese or Europeans or others are coming, we call these are investors. This is what Africans we call each other here in the continent of Africa. And because in the rest of the world, how we are being defined. And we need to emancipate ourselves. We need to emancipate ourselves mentally so that we can understand and teach our life position. Because Africans outside, we are not investors. Africans outside, we are not tourists. When you go maybe to the bush to do hunting, you are not hunting. You are maybe poachers, you see. And the hunters are white people. Africans are poachers. So I think we need to change this notion, the way we think and the way we interpret ourselves. So families, brothers and sisters, I will not take too long on this issue, but I'm going to share this short video of how President Putin was alive in China and how the rest of the world are respecting President Putin, despite Western trying to keep many things that Putin is dictator, Putin is that. But if you have something, if you have power, no one can tell you those nonsense things. And that's why I'm calling Africans or African country nations to come together to unite so that we can be respected. Africa will not be respected as long as we are weak. So for we Africans to be respected, whether in the continent or outside of the continent, we need to come together. Our only salvation for us, our only way to be respected is come together. You see, no one is talking about the violent uh, of Putin. No one talking about those warrants, maybe to arrest President Putin. No one is talking about those issues because Russia is powerful. But imagine if Putin was an African leader, he was already arrested. But because Russia is a powerful nation and has veto power, is one of the member of UN Security Council, so no one can arrest President Putin. You saw Putin went to US. No one talked about the issue of arresting President Putin. They know that if you arrest this poor man, you can create a world war today. So I'm sharing this for we Africans to know our own position. So even as we can be powerful, we can be respected as long as we come together, we unite. After that, dear lovely family, brothers and sisters, thank you for watching. Have a nice time. Thank you to Mr. Alphonse Aure for nice comments. It's good to continue with this live streaming as time as goes to in order to awaken each other. So have a nice time.